beautiful places, some parks as well in Europe. So looking forward to sharing that. But I just thought I'd mark the occasion here, the final day, and instead of a meditation sequence here in front of the valley, just do a gentle wake up session seated yoga, meaning finding a very comfortable upright position so you can do a forward bend, a back bend, a twist. Just a nice gentle waking up series. I'll give a couple options on each movement, and we'll just take it slow. If there's any issues with the audio, I apologize in advance. I don't know if you can see this. I'm on a wired mic. The wireless mic had a little issue, shall we say, and it's a little difficult here in the jungles of Sri Lanka to find microphones at your corner shop. So bear with me. The next, hopefully, live stream, I'll be having again the hands-free and a little bit better audio. But I'll try to make the sequence as visible as possible here so you can just follow along visually. And again, it's like 10-15 minutes. Just take your time. Remember, all the breathing today, deep belly breathing through the nose, the inhale and exhale, and just go slow, and we'll wake ourselves up here over the valleys of the mountains here. Okay, so we'll take our position first here on the mat, and you have to decide on your seating posture. This is the most important thing. If your knees are okay, it's very nice here to sit on the knees and the tops of the heels. If, for example, you find that a bit of a struggle, but you can still do it, you might consider just folding the mat. I've done this a couple times in the beginning of the classes. It works really well. So you can fold there, and if you need to, you can even fold a second time, this way covering the ankles. So you've got a triple layer of yoga mat on the tops of the foot, just the ankle, and at the knees. So could be a good, interesting solution. The other way to go, my favorite pose, as it were, is the gracious pose. So it's a modification. It's the thunderbolt that we're just in there on top of the knees and the ankles. But separating the knees, toes in the back are touching, and just using a brick. If your hips aren't open quite enough, or you just need that extra support because of the knees, you put a brick in either bicycle seat wise or horizontal, just under the base of the spine there. Sitting upright, shoulders back, and you get a very nice, what I call verticality here, meaning you can feel comfortable, you're not fidgeting, and it's very good for the posture and also for the breath. So for some of us who, for whatever reason, can't use the knees or the ankles whatsoever, still options. I always say with yoga, there's always a solution. So again, using a yoga block or brick, however you want to call it, just sit cross-legged on top of the brick. You don't have to go into crazy hip opening or lotus or anything like that. Just simply cross-legged. And then, okay, it's always good to have contact with the earth and be grounded. So you either have yoga bolsters, or I took these from my sofa, sofa cushions, whatever works in the home, and now you have support under the knees. And this way, you have support in the back, support in the knees, just get yourself centered, and you get the same verticality we just showed there in the gracious pose, but seated like this. So we'll start the day sequence. It's just a few movements, really basic ones that I like to do every time a day, just before meditation. So reach up here, inhale, looking up at the sky, high as you can, deep belly breath. Maybe close your eyes, activate the fingers like you're tickling the clouds, moving a little bit, and now exhale, release. Hands on top of the knees, shoulders back, face calm, deep belly breath here. The next breath, really inflate abdomen, chest, even the throat, all the way up. And then exhale, Handling all the carbon dioxide, pushing that belly button in, pause for a moment, and now a deep inhale again. And now reaching up again, inhale, lengthening the arms again. Stay here for a breath. And now lacing the fingers together, turning the palms up, pushing those forearms and wrists upwards, lengthening. And now on your next exhale, no rush here, just gently sway off to the left-hand side. Keep that head between the shoulders and the arms. Don't rest it on the side. And open the right-hand side of the torso now. Again, taking a few breaths here, nice and slow. And now inhale, back to center. Looking up at the sky. And exhale. Again, over to the right this time. Head in the center. Gently opening that left-hand side torso. Inhale back to center, pushing up again with the arms. And now on your next exhale, release. Arms at your side. And just moving the fingers, as I say, like a piano player. Strumming up and down the keys. And now the other way. Activating those articulations there. And now we'll do something for a bit of a forward bend. We're seated on the cushions, so it's best to do a breath rotation. So reaching up, inhale, capturing the elbows in the hands, and just go over to your right, exhaling over your right leg, forward as exhale, and as you're coming back over the other leg of your left, you're coming up, inhale to the center, looking up to the sky, and again, at your own pace, go with your breath, exhale forward, and on the upswing, inhale. And one more time. Exhaling slowly, and inhaling, coming up and around. Pause here for a moment, take a deep breath, looking upwards at the sky. Those elbows are still in your hands. And now, let's go over to the left-hand side. Exhale, release, and around, and coming up, inhale. Again, exhale, down over your left leg to the center. Swinging around now, inhale, deep and slow. Pause for a moment, and now the next time, around here, over to the left, exhaling, to the center, up and around, inhale, and now release. Hands on your knees, close your eyes just for a moment. This is like a seated mountain pose, calm face, shoulders back, steady breath. Okay, now we're going to do something for a twist. So, what I want you to do, if you're with 2 yoga blocks, that's fine. Put a yoga block here behind you. If you're not with a yoga block, you're going to use your fingertips to sustain yourself. What you don't want to do is lean too far back collapsing the spine. When you're doing a spine or a twist, you always want to have, again, this verticality, that good alignment for the breath as well as for your own benefit of the posture. So, reaching up, inhale, straighten the length of the spine, and now, right hand goes over your left leg, left hand behind you, again on the fingertips, or if you have another yoga block, just there, palm set on top, cast your gaze behind you, stay here for a few breaths. Maybe on the next exhale, look just a little bit further back, turn the shoulder just a little bit more, but don't force or strain, just gently. And now, inhale, coming back to center, raising those arms up, lengthening here for breath before going to the other side. And exhale. Left hand over the right leg, right arm behind you, on the fingertips there again, looking back, gentle gaze. And inhale. Just bring those arms back to center, reaching up to the sky. Lengthen here for breath as well. And exhale, release. Okay, the next one, I'm going to take the cushions off so I can get to the camera and show the correct position here. Next one is a back bend, which is a little bit difficult to do seated upright. I'll take the microphone on this one and just explain it carefully. The thing we're going to do is just put a prayer pose behind our backs, as it were. So, it means taking your fingers like this, palms, tips behind you, and just reaching back. Let's see if I can get this in the camera while holding on to the microphone. Okay, so you just point the fingers up the back of the spine and try to bring those palms together. You can do this by either pulling the shoulders back, if you like it to say, or moving the elbows back. Either way, the idea is just opening that chest, and by the support of your pinky fingers there in the back of your spine, you get a very nice back opening. It's very safe. And what I'll do is I'll just sit on the mat here for a moment and show you just a gentle way to go into it, just lifting the chin basically and arching the back. And then from there, we're almost finished with our waking up sequence here, and we'll continue to the last stage. So again, just placing those fingers there behind the back, raising them up the spine, bring the hands together. It's looking like this. Hopefully it shows in the camera. And if you want to raise up a little higher, you can just sit up off your heels and then sit down as you're lifting the fingers. You can get a little bit more distance there coming up. So we're here. Find a stable spot. Just lean the chin back. Pull the shoulders back, elbows back. Stay here for a few breaths. And now to finish the gentle seated sequence here. From here, really good counter pose. If you're not seated with the cushions, if you can do it, child's pose is fantastic. Otherwise, Just seated on the cushions, deep yogic breathing, mountain chair pose, seated for a few breaths, and then we're finished with the sequence for waking up. So reaching out, child's pose. Make sure you've got enough length on your mat for your forehead. Inhale and extension. Head forward, hands out. Stay seated on your heels. That's the child's pose. If you're in the child's pose, stay there. And then what I call the seated mountain pose. If you're on the cushions, that's okay too. Just really lengthen the spine by putting a perfect alignment and posture. Shoulders are back. Chin is parallel with the floor. Eyes are closed. Deep belly breathing here. Again, continue with child's pose for another breath. If you're here on the cushions, also another breath. And now we'll finish the sequence today. Hands at our hearts. Namaste. Thank you everyone for joining. Please subscribe to Michael Sands Yoga and Meditation and Travel Experience channel. And hope to see you again soon here in Sri Lanka or the next travel adventure. Have a great day.